How's it going, guys? Shape here, and welcome to the channel. This video is going to go over the best farming spots I have found for Tenebrous ribs. I believe that the cost of Shadowlands meats is going to go up with the release of Mythic Plus and the raid, and it would be the perfect time to start stockpiling some of the meat so you can reap in the rewards. I will give you guys the breakdown of how much meat per hour I was getting from each of these spots based on US sales prices, and leave it up to you for gold per hour since it will be server dependent. I would highly recommend that you do these farms on a character that has good AoE damage and has good self-healing to maximize your efforts. The reason for this is because the more mobs you're able to kill per hour, the more opportunity you have to get more meat. If you are constantly having to stop and heal or not pulling large enough packs, this could take out valuable time and have a huge impact on your meat per hour. The current US price on Tenebrous ribs is 119 gold, and it is the most expensive of the Shadowlands meats right now, and it's been trending up closer we get to the release of Mythic Plus and raids. The first spot I wanted to cover is going to take us out to Bastion. Here's the best route I have found to maximize your ribs per hour in this zone. This route is located just northeast of the Hero's Rest flight point. The mobs you're going to want to target are any of the horse-like mobs. In this zone they are called Silverplume Grazer, Spirited Skymane, Swift Cloud Racer, and Burdened Stratusmare. I have found those to drop the ribs we are looking for. If you have skinning to pair with this, you can increase your gold per hour by quite a lot. If you are skinning the mobs as well, make sure you have the Shadowlands Gathering enchant to not waste time. The price has gone down on the enchant, so it is definitely worth the investment now. The spawn rate is really fast on these, and they will most likely already be up before you finish doing a loop. After killing mobs at this spot for an hour, I was averaging around 150 ribs and 60 shadowy shanks. As I said earlier, the ribs have been selling for 119 gold each, which would total out to a little over 17,000 gold just for the ribs. Add in the other 2,400 gold for the shadowy shanks, and that's almost 20,000 gold just from the meat part of this farm. If you do include the leather, then you're going to start talking some pretty serious gold per hour with this route. I average almost 1,000 desolate hide, 24 heavy desolate hide, 54 callous hide, and 12 heavy callous hides while just really going after the ribs from these guys. That alone is a little over 32,000 gold from the leather side. With the legendary market being crazy right now, Mythic Plus and raids just released, there is some serious gold to be made in this farm. I did want to cover a few more spots just for some variety in case you were having trouble with the previous one. The second spot I wanted to cover is going to take us to Mount Draxus. Here's the best route I have found to maximize the ribs per hour. This spot is located northeast of the Theater of Pain flight point. You will want to target Bloodtusk Alphas and Predatory Bloodtusks. The respawn rate isn't too fast on these, so you will have to do a pretty large loop around the area to make sure you don't run out of mobs to kill. The Tough Bone Scouts also drop the ribs, but there are only a few of them around the area, so be sure to kill those if you see them. After an hour, I was averaging 90 ribs and 30 shadowy shanks. With the US sales price we listed earlier, this would total out to a little over 10,000 gold just for the ribs. Add in the other 1,200 for the shadowy shanks, and that's a little over 11,000 gold for the meat part of this farm. You're going to have to include the leather on this one to make it worth your while to this route, but that will add another 20,000 gold from the leather part of this farm, and again, that's pretty decent gold per hour when you add the two together. The third spot I wanted to cover is going to take us over to Ardenweald. Here's the best route I have found to maximize your ribs per hour. This spot is located just northwest of the Hibernal Hollow flight point. You want to target all of the horse-like mobs in this area as well. After killing mobs at this spot for an hour, I was averaging around 100 ribs and 40 shadowy shanks. This would total out to a little over 12,000 gold just for the ribs. Add in the other 1,600 for the shadowy shanks, and that's a little under 14,000 gold just from the meat part of this farm. You are going to average a little more leather on this side than you were in Mount Draxus, and that would be another 25,000 gold if you did have the skinning to go with this. This spot will also be easier to farm than Mount Draxus because the mobs are mostly yellow mobs and you don't have to worry about aggroing too many more. So just to wrap things up, and in conclusion, there is some good opportunity to make a lot of gold with meat right now with the release of the Mythic Plus and raids. If you had to pick one spot to be your go-to, I would stick with Bastion because the mobs are the tightest route to farm here, and they're also going to drop the most leather and ribs per hour. If Bastion is overrun with other players, head over to Ardenweald. I feel like this is going to be your next best bet, and if things don't work out at either of these, then try your luck with Mount Draxus, but only if it's your last option. This is because it has a lot of mobs around that aren't yellow mobs, and we don't need to aggro extra ones and just delay killing the mobs that we do need. No matter which spot you choose, there is a great opportunity to make some serious gold with meat right now. Well, there you have it, guys, the best routes to use when you're farming the Tenebrous ribs. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed the video to show some love for the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.